Welcome to ENCORE, an immersive museum where you become the star and experience the paths of the legendary musicians that came before you. Here, you'll truly learn what it means to live through the highs and lows of rock and fame. My name is Tia, and I'll be your guide through the results and creative process of ENCORE, the Rock and Fame exhibition. This project was developed by students at Ringling College of Art and Design during the spring semester of 2024. The team was formed by 2 graphic designers, Daniel Mino and Ivy Jenkins, and 2 entertainment designers, Juan Bonillo and Tia Cassim. The prompt for the project was to repurpose a 1-story, mixed-use commercial building into an engaging, sequential educational experience. Over the course of a month and a half, our team created concept designs, visualization materials, and a brand identity for this experience. Our team started the process of creating this ambitious experience at the blue sky phase. Through many brainstorming and research sessions, we created a preliminary concept statement, exploring it further through the use of the Kipling method and personas. We also outlined the educational goals for the experience and the key interactions that the guests would encounter. Finally, we also collected reference material and created some initial mood boards. After the initial blue sky phase, we started the ideation process. First, we solidified the overall sequential experience. We created this artwork showing what each room would offer in terms of interactive experiences, themes, and visual style. Before working on the individual spaces, we developed a floor plan with enough level of detail to inform our room designs. When developing the plan, we focused on guest flow, capacity, and other technical factors such as egress, traveling distance. For this exercise, we didn't develop back-of-house spaces since they were not included in the template we received. And if we were to develop this project further, the floor plan probably would be extended to accommodate these. Once the floor plan reflected a functional exhibition space, we continued on to the different spaces. After creating the artistic direction for the exhibition and the floor plan, we designed the spaces that we planned on developing through our visualization phase. Once we had ideated the content of each room, we moved on to creating the final 3D renders that would show our vision. Given our 1-month timeline, we decided to focus on the following 7 spaces: the lobby, Decades Unplugged, First Gigs, Hellscape, Tabloids, Welcome to Hell, and Legacy. We will now move on to showing the renders and ideation we created for the different spaces that we designed. The guest journey begins in the lobby, where they can see the exhibit gift shop Starman Records, and where they can secure their badges and tickets for the experience. Here, at the desk or kiosk, groups will name their band or artist that they will be recognized as in the different spaces going forward. Since the lobby is the first space that guests encounter, we decided its design should accommodate the dynamic and rebellious nature of rock and roll. Rock culture and design informed the materials, shape language, FF&E, colors, and more. After much ideation, we decided on this design, a monumental welcome into the exhibition. Then, after leaving their things in the secure loft lockers, guests can walk this way and enter the exhibit. Decades Unplugged. To prepare guests for their journey, they must make their way through the Decades Unplugged, where they can interact and learn about how each era's defining artists put their stamp on a generation. For this room, we focused on an abstract and dynamic design. This allowed us to focus on graphics and interactives. Additionally, we created a sea of lights representing the crowds that were and are enamored by these artists. First Gigs. First Gigs is the next space for guests fully step into the zeitgeist of any proper rock artist, the garage. Here, guests will step into all of the iconic spaces where artists have made their name over the years, and even play their very own garage performance. The design of this room integrates more storytelling elements while maintaining the focus on graphics and interactive screens. Record label contract. In this immersive room, guests feel the pressure of signing a life-changing contract. The design for this room would follow a realistic style, communicating mostly through the use of lighting and propping. Paparazzi. In this room, guests make their way through flashing lights. These make guests experience for the first time the overwhelming reality of fame and their loss of intimacy. In studio. Guests step into a large room with many recording booths. When they enter one, they will follow a guided interactive to create their music. After professionally recording their music, guests will look at real instances of singers in the studio through screens disguised as other studio windows. Build your own concerts. After creating their band or going solo, guests will build their first opening concert by selecting different settings. Then they will go through backstage to get dressed and finally enter the concert stage where they will perform the song they created. This will be achieved through a dome screen, which will create the overwhelming feeling of performing in front of a crowd. This room will offer the perfect photo opportunity for guests. Hellscape, tabloids, and welcome to hell. This is when the excitement of fame and stardom comes crashing down. Guests are placed on sets, where they're examined by cameras or driven past the plastic palm trees. From here, they'll be exposed to the tabloids, everything from their rise to stardom to questioning their integrity in the limelight, followed by the many stars that tragically passed away while being examined in this way. This is when the guests are faced with the Hotel California, the physical manifestation of the loss of innocence and being thrust into an unforgiving world. When designing this room, we followed a different approach for each section. The first one combines abstract and menacing graphics with an inviting, flashy, and colorful photo shoot, showing the many contradictions of fame. The second section focuses on the tabloids, which surround you in an overwhelming narrow path until guests reach the last section. The third section takes the apparent glamour of being a rock star and gives it an ominous and menacing look. Guests will fully face the dark side of fame. The dark side of fame. Beyond the arch, guests will walk through a room of testimony from artists about the struggles they've personally faced. A solemn, quiet break from the intensity or excitement. Legacy. Closing the experience is the Legacy Room, a room where the past and present legends of rock live on from the stamp of genius they each left on the landscape of rock music. The design of this room represents an abstract stairway to heaven, where we utilize the repeating pattern of lights to honor rock legends. Results viewing and store. Finally, guests will enter a room where they will be guided to a screen station. Here, guests will scan their badges and see the journey they went on as rock stars. Custom merch will be created as a souvenir opportunity where they can purchase at the store. Our team conducted a preliminary operations study to guide future development of the exhibit. We assessed spatial capacity, estimating a maximum of over 6,000 guests per hour with a more realistic rate of 200. And identified staffing needs, including 10 facilitators and 7 front-of-house staff. These findings helped ensure the museum's design is functional and feasible. Additionally, our graphic design team created both the room graphics and the branding for the museum's merchandise, which assisted in making this project as successful as it is. We are also proud to have been awarded Addy Awards for this project. After winning gold in District 4, ENCORE is being considered for the national awards. ENCORE, the Rock and Fame exhibition, pushes guest immersion to show audiences the journey that many rock legends went through. By following the artist's point of view, the exhibition offers a unique perspective on such a popular theme. The design team of ENCORE would like to thank everyone behind the Themed Attraction Student Showcase for such an amazing opportunity to share our work. Rock on!